Once upon a time, there was this girl named Brooklyn. She was one of 2 children. Her older brother, Matt, was 3 years older than her, and her relationship with her father was very special. When you try your best. Every Sunday night, her family would watch Extreme Makeover, Home Edition, and would laugh and cry together. Also, her father would go out into their barn behind their house and teach her about cars, or at least try. As Matt and Brooklyn grew older, watching Dad fix cars was something that took up too much time with sports and hanging out with friends. One day, her dad was diagnosed with cancer. Brooklyn didn't take it as well as expected. He didn't have too much time to live, so she had to grow up. A couple months later, he passed away, and it was time for him to go. After the funeral and all of the looking back on how her dad made an impact on her life, she had a hard time getting back to normal. She would bring pain upon herself, thinking she could have done more. She wished she had spent more time with him instead of spending so much time with playing sports like softball and with her friends. Because of that, when she was asked how she was doing, she said she was doing good, just to avoid those emotions she had of the loss of her father. She would avoid any conversation of her father, blocking all of it out, and Brooklyn also kept herself busy by doing sports like softball. To let it go. But if you never try, you'll never know. Just watch. Because of that, she shut out her mom and her brother, saying they didn't know or didn't understand what she was going through. Her friends didn't even really ask about it, neither did her teachers. She just went as the rest did and didn't talk all that much of what was going on. She was nice and polite and good around everyone, and no one thought any different. Till finally one day, her English teacher, Miss Taylor, noticed that Brooklyn was having a hard time with her homework, more than usual. Taylor tried to help, but her mood didn't seem to change. Miss Taylor talked to Brooklyn after class and asked if something was up at home. Brooklyn said she was fine, but Miss Taylor made her sit down until she told her what was really going on. Miss Taylor told Brooklyn to stay after class. Miss Taylor talked to Brooklyn after class and asked if something was up at home. Brooklyn said she was fine, but Miss Taylor made her sit down until she told her what was really going on. Brooklyn explained how her dad had passed a few months ago and how she was having a hard time getting things back to normal without him there. She explained how she misses him a lot. She said she blames herself for not being around more often, to not being open with her family. Every once in a while, Miss Taylor and Brooklyn would talk once a week after school. Miss Taylor and Brooklyn would talk every day after school about Brooklyn's memories of her father. Brooklyn found this to be helpful, and she finally grew up a little more and took the memories of her father as a good thing, not as something to be sad about, but every once in a while she would go back to their barn and behind their house and think of all the times she had with her father. To fix you.